Hello, folks, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Experts Cafe, sponsored by Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel. I'm Kimberly Crow, your host and the creator of the Facebook community, Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel, a community by entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs and experts get their business to the next level. Come join the conversation and the community at www.entrepreneursrocketfuel.com/Facebook. Today, I'm interviewing James Malinchak. James is an expert on getting paid to speak. Welcome to the program, James.
Hey, Kimberly. Thanks so much for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Super glad to have you here because this is a subject of passion for a lot of our audience, right? They want to be able to get the word out about what they are and what they do, but sort of that brass ring of getting paid to speak is really, really powerful. And so I'm delighted you were able to carve time out of your day. Tell us how you became an expert in this particular area.
Well, so I started out not knowing anything about this and was so broke and forced to work in a video store making $7 an hour and eating top ramen noodles and pasta with spaghetti sauce diluted with water because it would last longer. And I did that for over 3 years because I thought that it was all about just having a message. And that is true. You have to have a message that uplifts, inspires, and helps people. But that's the reason my logo is a coin for Big Money Speaker. The logo is a coin.
Big Money Speaker. I like that.
Well, to remind folks that it's two sides of the coin. On the one side, you have your message and what you do to serve and help folks. But on the flip side of the coin, we're actually running a business.
Yeah.
And so what allowed me to actually propel was when I realized that it's more about the business. The marketing is more important than the mastery of the message. And a lot of people don't like to hear that because marketing and business actually requires work. And so long story short, I've gone on to do 3,000 presentations, sold about 50 million from the stage and on webinars and teleseminars. And so, and now I coach a lot of the high profile thought leaders, Jack Canfield. I mean, if you go on my website, Les Brown, you name them, and a lot of celebrities. So that's sort of my story in a nutshell.
So this is awesome because a lot of people have the goal of being a six-figure earner, like as somebody who has brought in over 6 figures of revenue. Many people also have a goal of being $1 million earner, bringing in over 7 figures. But what you just said is 50 million, which is actually not only a 8-figure, but potentially climbing to 9-figure business as a whole. Now, that may not have all been in 1 year, but how fantastic is that you can generate $50 million from speaking on stages? Is that correct?
Well, I'm not going to say that that's correct because I'm not making a financial promise to anybody. But, all I can do is tell my story and what I've done. And it can be very lucrative if you know the right way to do it. The problem is most people are getting bad information out there. It's one of the reasons I retired a few years ago. It's one of the reasons I came back. And now I'm on this legacy and mission, driven purpose, if you will, to try to get people on the right track. And that's how I'm going to leave a legacy, is help folks do the right thing the right way so that they can actually spread their message, help people, but also get highly paid. It's called Big Money Speaker. It's not called Little Money Speaker.
I like that a lot. So what are some of the things that people stumble over before they get to really being a big money speaker?
Well, so the first thing is you got to understand you actually are running a business, and people don't like to hear that. They get led to believe that, if I just have a message and everything's going to work out. I had that message and I was broke working in a video store. So I'm firsthand, knowledge of just having one side of the coin is not all you need. You actually need the second side. So for example, what's the second side? Well, how do you find the people who have the budgets? How do you find the people who make the decisions? If you're doing a speak and offer, meaning getting your expertise on stage, you're not being paid, but you're going to make an offer, whether it's a virtual stage or live. All right, well, how do you convince that person, communicate that to that person that you should be added to their roster of speakers? If you're doing a paid speaking engagement, well, then you've got to figure out, how do you set your fees? How do you know what budgets they have? How do you know when those budgets are coming due, when they have the money for you? How to pull money out of different budgets to buy your books, your online courses, your coaching services, et cetera, for ongoing continuing education with all of their people that they're bringing you in to speak for. That's the flip side of the coin. And that's what people make a mistake on when they're starting out. They think, if I'm just passionate and I have a message, then I'm going to be successful and wealthy at this. And nothing could be further from the truth, because I worked in a video store making $7 an hour when I thought that.
Well, I think there's that romantic vision of if you build it, they will come, which is actually a myth in the movie anyway, right? Like it's if you build it, he will come, and we don't even know what that's about. But I think a lot of people believe that. Like, I'm just going to go out there and do what I do well, and just keep focused on the message, but they don't really pick up the rest of the pieces, the other side of that coin, if you will. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of it's not their fault. A lot of it is people out there perpetuating stuff on the internet saying that, oh, you don't have to worry about marketing and business and all that. Just share with the world and everything will be fine. Well, I can show you a lot of wonderful people that do that in my church who are broke. Yeah. They share with the world. They try to help folks and think that's all it is. And they don't understand that we're on planet Earth here. We run real businesses, and speaking, getting your expertise out, getting paid as a coach, speaker, whatever that might be, running your own events is actually a real business, no different than a flower shop or a chiropractic office.
Fair enough. And we all want to have a message, and we want to do good in the world. We just don't want to go broke while we're doing it. Is that true?
Well, I don't know what everybody else wants, but that's what I don't want that. I don't want to go broke doing it. Matter of fact, my motivation was I got sick and tired of eating top ramen noodles. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to figure this out one way or the other. And it was like this aha moment, like, someone whacked me on side of the head. Like, a mentor said to me, and at the time the mentor was he's an entrepreneur worth $500 million. And he said to me, you can have the best message in the world. None of that matters if you don't know how to sell it. He said, you'll be home broke. And I never thought of it like that before. He said, so learn really well how to communicate, how to promote it, how to get folks who could be your customers to exchange dollars for your service, aka speaking or whatever that might be, an online product, etc. Master that. I tell people this all the time in my coaching programs. I said, look, two things will put more money in your pocket than anything else as an entrepreneur. How you communicate with the written word, what goes on your website, what goes in emails, what goes on your marketing materials. And most people just list stuff. They don't actually know how to do copywriting, et cetera. But the second thing is how you communicate verbally, right? Those are two things that will put more money in your pocket than anything else. And I make my coaching members and students become masters at those two. And forget all this other nonsense. It's all smoke and mirrors. Master those two, and you could be on your way to serious wealth.
All right, words to live by. So if people want to come work and work and learn from you, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, so I don't take any more coaching members. I have over 100 coaching members, and our fees are 25, 50, and 100 grand plus, depending on what they want me to do for them. So what I did do, though, is my way of leaving a legacy and make it go viral was I took my 4-day big money speaker boot camp where I'm teaching 12 plus hours a day, and I've done this for 20 years. And I actually have been compiling that into a book. And so I thought, how can I really help people and leave a legacy? I don't care if anybody buys a course or anything. I thought, you know what? Let me give the book away. It's over 250 pages. And anybody can get it by going to www.freespeakerbook.com, freespeakerbook.com. You don't need a credit card. You don't need to pay for shipping and handling, none of that. You just download it as a digital format. And so my hope is that if we never meet again and you download that, you have more than enough information in there that will get you on the fast track to getting highly paid as a speaker.
Fantastic. And what you teach, you practice what you teach, because it's great to be able to get on a podcast with a very, very memorable, downloadable that people can go to even after they stop driving or stop riding or working out on the treadmill or whatever it is. So it's freespeakerbook.com. Is that correct?
That is it. Freespeakerbook.com.
Excellent. We'll put that in the show notes as well. Thanks so much, James, for carving time out of your day today. Before we let you go, any final words for our crew?
Yeah, you can do this. You can do this now, and you can do this here if you learn the right way to do it. Stop working harder. It's not about working harder. It's not about working smarter. It's about working right.
Excellent. Excellent points. Thanks so much, James, for being here. Cheers.
Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate it.